Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. In this video, we're going to be looking at crypto malware. Crypto malware is a type of malware that generates cryptocurrency by using the victim's computing resource, such as the CPU and the GPU. Now, before we dive into that, we better start by first talking about what cryptocurrency actually is. Cryptocurrency, also known simply as crypto, is a type of digital currency. Most cryptocurrencies are decentralized, meaning they're not owned by any centralized authority and do not rely on banks. Instead, they use a peer-to-peer system, which means it's managed by a global network of users. It uses cryptography technology to keep everything safe and reliable. This is where the name crypto comes from. The transactions are recorded in a publicly distributed ledger called the blockchain. The blockchain works like this. When transactions, such as transfers and payments occur, they are broadcasted to nodes that maintain the blockchain. Once several transactions are collected, they are grouped together in a new block. From here, it depends on the type of blockchain being used. For this video, we're going to be focusing on a type of blockchain known as proof of work. In proof of work blockchains, special nodes in the network called miners run complex algorithms to solve a cryptographic puzzle associated with a block. This process secures and confirms the transactions in the block. Once a miner solves the puzzle, the new block is distributed to the rest of the nodes for validation. Once validated, the new block is added to the blockchain, securing the transactions. So that is, at a high level, how blockchains work. Now let's talk about the cryptocurrencies themselves. If you want to start investing in cryptocurrency, there are many to choose from, thousands in fact. Two of the most popular though are Bitcoin and Ethereum. To get your own cryptocurrencies, you have a couple of options. First, you can purchase it, just like anything else. Coinbase is one of many places that you can buy cryptocurrency. But if you don't want to actually pay for the cryptocurrency, there is another option. That option is called mining. Mining involves using your computer power and electricity to help process blockchain transactions. Remember when we looked at how proof of work blockchains worked and how miners ran complex algorithms to solve a puzzle? Well, when a node solves a puzzle, they are rewarded in the form of cryptocurrency. This process is completely legal and is a fundamental part of how many cryptocurrencies maintain their networks. The problem with this, however, is that to make any money at all, you're going to need some serious computing power. We're talking multiple high-end computers all running to mine cryptocurrency. You can even buy specialist machines built solely for the purpose of mining crypto. And all of this computing power doesn't come cheap. Not only does the hardware need to be purchased, but the electricity costs can be sky high. So all of this can make you wonder, is crypto mining really worth it? Well, that depends. If you have really cheap electricity, a fixed tariff, or you have solar panels, then there may be some money to be made. However, it would be more profitable to use someone else's hardware and someone else's electricity, right? No cost, just profit. Well, this is called cryptojacking. Cryptojacking is the act of using unauthorized access to devices to mine cryptocurrency without the victim's knowledge. This way, the victim pays all of the electricity bills, all the hardware maintenance, while the attacker takes all of the profit. Now, one computer may not seem like a valuable target for this type of attack. After all, mining can be a slow process. However, if this can be scaled up to thousands or even tens of thousands of computers, this type of attack could be quite lucrative. So then, how do attackers target victims with cryptojacking? Well, there are a few ways that someone can become the victim of cryptojacking. One of the most common methods is through malware. Malware that infects your computer with crypto mining software is known as crypto malware. Crypto malware will sit on the victim's computer, silently running in the background, carrying out crypto mining tasks and sending the attacker all of the profit. Crypto malware is designed to run over long periods of time without being detected. However, it can have a huge impact on individuals and for businesses, as it often leads to increased electricity bills because of the high energy consumption required for mining. It can also slow down computer performance and even cause things like hardware damage, resulting in expensive repairs or replacements. In other cases, attackers can actually embed crypto mining code into hacked websites. When a user visits one of these compromised websites, the code executes using the visitor's computing power for mining without their knowledge or their consent. In fact, one of the best examples of widespread cryptojacking attacks uses this exact method. In 2017, a cryptocurrency mining service called CoinHive was launched. It used a piece of code that was embedded into websites. When a user visited one of these websites, it would use some of their computing power to mine for cryptocurrency for as long as they were on that website. It was originally marketed as an alternative way to monetize websites rather than using paid ads. Most sites that started to use CoinHive openly shared this information with their visitors. This was all perfectly legal and above board. However, some site owners kept the crypto mining a secret and didn't share this with their visitors. This, of course, raised some ethical concerns. Most users didn't want their computers to be used to mine crypto without their knowledge. But it didn't stop there. The real problem happened when attackers started planting this code on websites that they had hacked without the website owner's permission. This quickly became a widespread tactic among cybercriminals, resulting in CoinHive code being found all over the internet. Now, technically, the code for CoinHive is not actually malware, but due to its widespread use among cybercriminals, security tools actually started to detect and block the code as malicious. Now, CoinHive was eventually shut down in 2019. This video is part of our Security Plus in 31 Days course. If you like this video, you are gonna love the full course. Not only does it cover each exam topic in simple and easy to understand videos, but it also provides hands-on labs. These labs guide you through practical tasks like creating Trojans, cracking passwords, and sending your own phishing emails, giving you real-world experience and making your studies that much more engaging and effective. It doesn't stop there though. You also get a copy of our Security Plus in 31 Days ebook, which follows the course and covers each topic. You'll also get access to helpful downloads to support your learning, a private community where you can connect with fellow learners, and exclusive discounts. It really is the complete package to guide you through your Security Plus journey. Check it out in the description below. So, that was cryptojacking, and crypto malware. Despite the fluctuation in cryptocurrency values and the increasing resources needed to mine it, cryptojacking and crypto malware are still prevalent attacks in today's world of cybercrime. Let's end this video with a couple of quiz questions. Question 1. What is the primary function of crypto malware? Is it A, to steal cryptocurrency wallets from victims? Is it B, to generate cryptocurrency by using the victim's computing resource? C, to encrypt a victim's files and demand cryptocurrency as ransom? Or D, to disable victims' computers for political purposes? The answer is B, to generate cryptocurrency by using the victim's computing resources. Crypto malware mines cryptocurrency by exploiting the victim's CPU and GPU resources without their consent. Okay, last question. What is the primary purpose of a blockchain ledger in cryptocurrency? A, to keep all transactions confidential and hidden from public view. B, to record transactions in a transparent, tamper-proof manner. C, to enable transaction fees to be collected from users. Or D, to allow central banks to control cryptocurrency issuance. The answer is B, to record transactions in a transparent and tamper-proof manner. A blockchain serves as a public, distributed ledger that permanently and securely records all transactions, ensuring transparency and preventing tampering. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment and subscribe. The support from you guys really helps this channel grow. Other than that, thank you for watching.